What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Mario Brothers Retrospective. We're starting now with Super Mario Brothers 2, the first sequel to Mario that came out in the US, because the original Super Mario Brothers 2 was actually released in Japan only because at the time, Nintendo felt like this was a little too hard for American gamers. So we actually didn't see the real Super Mario Brothers 2 till much later on the Super Nintendo with the Mario All-Stars pack that came bundled with it as dubbed the Lost Levels. But we will get into that game in a little later in this retrospective. But we're gonna start with Super Mario Brothers 2. It was the first game where Luigi, Toad, and Princess Toadstool, because she wasn't Princess Peach at the time, are officially playable. But we're only playing as Mario because we are the Mario. Now, this was another game. This was another game that I remember very clearly getting when I was a kid. Because I was a youngin, and getting video games was very scarce. It was very tough to acquire games when I was a kid, just because, I don't know, for some reason disposable income was very different when I was younger. Now that I'm older, I'm realizing disposable income is not that hard to come by, but I realized when I was a kid it was a little bit more difficult. So I was one of those kids that I was only able to really get a new video game once a year. So it came around Christmas time. It was around Christmas time that everybody was talking about the new toy that everybody wants, or like the new games that every kid wants and everything like that. And I remember saying to my parents what I wanted for Christmas, and I said I want Super Mario Brothers 2. That's what I want. I want Mario 2. I even got so desperate as a kid to be like, I will go to like a surplus store that has like a Santa that you can sit on the lap of and be like, okay. And he's like, oh, what would you like for Christmas, young boy? And I'm like, I want Super Mario Brothers 2 for the Nintendo. And he's like, oh, okay. And then it's like, well, if you're very good, then Santa will bring it to you and put it under your tree. And I'm like, really? Better not be joshing me, Santa. I didn't say that really because I wasn't that cool when I was a kid, but I put my faith into the man with the big red beard because I didn't know. I didn't know if I was going to be able to get it. So I remember this again. I remember this very vividly. The night of Christmas Eve rolls around. We have presents under the tree. And I'm excited. I'm excited because the only thing that I can think about is like, I really hope that I can get Super Mario Brothers 2. I really hope. So it's one of those things, you know, because again, when you're a kid, Christmas is crazy for you because all you can think about is like, I can't wait to wake up in the next morning, open my gifts and everything. It's gonna be great. And so I'm over there and I can't sleep because I'm just like, I'm overly excited. I'm just like, God, I just wanna open gifts. And then then it's just like, I'm there, I'm sleeping. It's one of those things because you know this is how it goes. When you want something really badly, it doesn't matter how patient you are, time will take forever because time can be a prick at times, and oh, Father Time was being a mega douche to me that night. So finally I managed to get to bed, and I wake up the next morning, and I'm rushing to the living room because that's where our tree was, and I'm looking around and everything. It's like I'm waking everybody up. It's like, it's time, let's open presents. And my parents are all just like, ugh, because that's how you know you're a parent and it's Christmas time, when your kids come barging into your room and it's like, let's open presents, and you're just like, oh, I just want to sleep, go away, you monster, just leave us alone. But my parents got up, and my sister woke up, and we were all headed to the living room, and everything like that. And we're all opening our gifts, and again, I get the typical stuff when you're a kid. I got clothes, I got a few toys, and I'm just like, cool. But then I realized something. I realized out of all these gifts that I got, the one gift that I wanted wasn't there. And again, this is one part of me that makes me realize, wow, it's kind of a douchey thing for me to say as a kid, but I said it anyway. And my mom looks at me and she's like, "What's the matter, sweetie?" And I just told her, I was like, I really wanted Mario 2 and everything like that for Christmas, and I asked Santa for it, and I was extra good, and I didn't get it. And she's like, "Oh, well, see," and this is how you know your parents. This is how you know your parents care about what you want. He's like, "Well, he's a busy guy. He's got a lot of presents to like deliver. Maybe he just forgot it to bring it because he had so many, and maybe he'll bring it to you some other time." And I'm like, okay. And I just like, I felt bad because like that was like that was honestly the only thing I really wanted, and the fact that I didn't get it, it was like really sad and everything like that. But it was like after that it passed and everything, we were all having fun, hanging out, just doing our holiday thing, and just having a good time. And my dad and my mom told us, "Hey, we gotta go grab something really quick with your uncle. So we're gonna let you stay here with your aunt real quick, and we'll be back in a little bit." And I'm like, all right. They must be going to like get some stuff for like work or something like that, because I didn't really pay any attention to it. I just like, okay. So they're gone for about, I'd say maybe 45 minutes, and then my sister is actually outside, and then she hears, like, she sees them pull up. They start honking the horn and everything like that, and she's like, "Come outside." And I'm like, all right, cool, let's go outside. So I go outside and I see my dad and my uncle. They're in the back of the truck that they were driving, and my dad has this huge garbage bag. It's a huge garbage bag. And I'm just like, what's going on? And he's like, "Oh, we found the extra stuff that Santa forgot to bring." And he's like, "What, really?" And he's like, "Yeah, he left it behind. He told us to come pick it up for him." And I'm just like, cool. And then like it was just like bags of extra stuff that they had gotten for us. Like there was extra toys, there was extra games and stuff and like that. And then my mom grabs the one out of the bag for me, and it's wrapped up, and it said "From Santa to me" and everything like that. And I opened it up, and it was like a cop. And then as soon as I opened it up, I saw Mario on the front cover of it, and it's just like, it was a copy of Super Mario Brothers 2. And I'm just like, you know when people say it's like it's their big like holiday Christmas moment. That was definitely one of them for me, because it was one of those things that it's like that childish, joyous wonder that makes you believe in stuff. And if you really, 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 really focus and you really believe in something, anything's possible. And that's what that moment was. And I was thrilled, man. I was so happy. And I hugged my parents. I said thank you like a million times. And then I ran inside, went in the living room, popped it in the NES, turned it on, and I started playing. And I think the other main reason why I was so obsessed with Super Mario Brothers 2, because although the show may be cheesy, let's be totally real here. The show may be very cheesy, but I watched it. I religiously watched it, and it was the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. I watched that thing every Saturday morning. I watched it every Saturday morning, and all I wanted to do, I just wanted to, cause like the first few episodes of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show really revolved around Super Mario Brothers 2, with like the enemies, the characters, and all that stuff. So like that was another reason why I just kind of wanted to dive into Super Mario Brothers 2. And it's just like, it was like everything about it was like, it's like the show, this is amazing. And I was just, yes, I was quite the happy little boy that day. And it's just, I don't know, man. Most people is like, oh, they can get that from anything. It's like, with me, it's just, I don't know, man. I think it's just because I'm so connected to like gaming and everything like that. It's just like, just video games, man. Video games have like such a crazy sentimental value to me that it's just, it's almost ridiculous how happy something as simple as a video game can make you. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like this game so much, man. It's just like the memories behind it. The memories behind it. It's like, because most of the people is like, oh man, it's the gameplay or something like that. Honestly, for me, like what makes these games so like, you know, memorable to me, aside from like how fun they are, is just the memory that goes behind of how I got it. I lost my potion. I lost it. It went to the sand. I will never see it again. But it's just, it's hard to tell, man. It just made me really happy. And like I said, it may be weird, the fact that I put so much focus into it like that, but again, man, I was a kid. I didn't really know much, and it was small, simple things like that that made me very happy as a young little weenie. It made me a very happy little weenie. So I take it in stride, man, and just enjoy it. That's how the way I see it. And it's just, it's like I said, it's someday I hope to be able to give that kind of a moment to somebody, regardless of who it may be. Because it's just, I feel like that's a moment that everybody should have, regardless of what the circumstances are and how it happens. Like, it doesn't have to be necessarily from a video game, but it's just like, it's a moment like that that I feel like every person deserves to have at least once. And crazy enough, the thing that helped cause that moment for me was DeMario. DeMario caused that wonderful moment for me, and it makes me really happy about it, because, you know, DeMario got me through a lot. DeMario has been there for me a long time, and I'm happy about that. And it makes me really, really appreciate this character so much more. It's probably what, like, a lot of people always ask me, who's your favorite video game character? And apparently it's really bland and just like, oh, really? That's like so unoriginal to say Mario. But for me, I guess it's just the history behind it. That's why Mario is my favorite character. Because he just, like, this character, it speaks to me. It makes me very happy. It's just like the history behind it, the memories I've had with it. It's tough not to be all like, yeah, this is why I like this character so much. And I think that's a good thing, you know? Like, every person should have, like, something or someone that helps bring those kind of, like, thoughts and memories into their head. Because I think they're some of the best ones to have. And it makes me love this game more and more every time I play it. And on top of that, it's probably one of the more different Mario games out there, at least like gameplay-wise. Because like at the time, they're just like, oh, you can't just jump on enemies to kill them like you could in the first game. This is weird. You have to like grab like vegetables and stuff, and then you have to climb vines, and you have to go through doors, and you have to dig through sand and all that stuff. So a lot of this was just very, very different. It was very different. Because for some reason, Nintendo had a habit of taking the first game, making it one way, then taking the second game and making it a completely different way. And some people will say that's a problem. I say, you know what? I like it. Sometimes change is okay. Sometimes change is pretty good. Sometimes change can be bad. Let's be real here. Sometimes change can be bad, but sometimes change can be really, really cool. And I went the wrong way. But that's pretty much the gist of it when it comes to my memories and experiences with the Super Mario Bros. 2. Because I gotta tell you, man, as crazy it is as it is for these retrospectives, because most of the people when they do retrospectives, they talk just about the game and its history. I like to talk about specifically like not only just the game, but I like to talk about like the feeling and just the memories that I have with the game, because I feel that's a good way to do a retrospective. Because with retrospectives, it should be about the game as well, but it also it can be about you too. You know, it can be about the things that help shape your little video game player's head when you were a young little dude, I think. And personally, with me, I think that's really, really cool. So I will say this: for those of you watching, do you have any memories with the Mario game, or just a game in general that just like every time you play it or every time you think about it, it helps you realize, hey, I like this game. I like these things. I like these games because they remind me of stuff that makes me really happy. It puts me in a really good space. It puts me in a good spot. Because I'd love to hear it. Like what's a game or a franchise or something that like the second that you remember it or you listen to it or you hear it or you play it, it puts you in that happy like memory space. I'd love to hear that. Like invite me into your world, people, as I invite you into mine. That's a good way to look at it. Because I like looking into that stuff. It's interesting to me. Plus, it helps me learn a little bit more about you guys, and that's always good. I like to interact with my audience, get to know them better, understand them a little bit more, you know. And I think doing that is a good way. Like, are there any games to you that have like sentimental value? Like, there's something that's like I remember this, and it reminds me of the time I hit like a home run at a baseball game, or the time where I was at a concert and I threw a hot dog at a guy. I don't know why I would symbolize that as a moment that would be very, very monumental in someone's young life, but hey, if throwing a hot dog at somebody is a memorable moment for you, then sure. I lost my keys. Shoot! But yeah. I will say this though, this game almost makes me, cause again, this is pretty much a different game with a Mario skin on top of it. But I would really like to get my hands on a copy of Doki Doki Panic, just to see if there are any slight differences or changes from this game from the original. Like, aside from the character models, of course, but I'm curious to see if there's actually any other subtle differences about the game. Like the way the levels are laid out. I got shot in the face by a snake that shoots bullets. This game is weird. But, yeah. So, here's the other thing, too. If you guys actually have a copy of Doki Doki Panic, the Japanese version, let me know if there are any small differences in it. Because I would love to know. All right, we'll take out this boss and then we'll call it here. It's Triclyde, the serpent with the 3 heads. And Trunk, it's okay. We fear nothing. Danger is laughable to us. That NES slowdown, baby. And that will do it for this one, guys. No bonus. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this next episode of the Super Mario Bros. Retrospective. And in the next one, we're going to dive into, quite possibly, my favorite game of all time. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. So, in the next one, guys, it's Super Mario Bros. 3. So, until then, guys, this was Mario 2. I've been Benchez. I love all your faces. Be nice to everybody out there, and I'll see you dudes next time. See you later.